Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon, so you never miss any new updates, cause whenever we upload new video you will get a notification on your phone.
Hi, today in my bench I have this Pioneer multi-stack hi-fi system. Now the owner of this unit, he was using it in his shop in a daily basis. The other day he contacted me and told me that his amplifier has been stopped working and asked me to take a look at it. So when he brought it in, he told me that he was feeding it a signal from his mobile phone and the volume was set to the maximum. Then he accidentally disconnected the signal from his phone, and he heard a loud pop from the speakers, and the unit was shut off immediately. So when he tried to power it on again, the unit did not work. So today in this video we are going to tear this unit down, test it, and see what's wrong with it and how we are going to fix it. So let's get started. Now before I start the teardown and the testing of this unit, I'm going to do a visual inspection of each unit of this multi-stack system. Now the first unit, as we can see, it is the Synthesizer Tuner, and the model number of this unit it is the F-P910V. And from the looks of it, looks very good and looks solid. So yeah, nothing look broken in it. So yeah. Now the second unit, it is a sound filed processor, and the model number of this unit it is the SP-P910. So yeah. Now usually in multi-stack systems, hi-fi systems like this, there is a equalizer unit, but this unit has a sound processor unit. So yeah, this is really interesting. And the last unit, it is the Pioneer stereo amplifier, and the model number of this unit it is the A-P910. So yeah. Now in multi-stack units there is definitely another unit, and usually there is a tape unit and also a CD unit, but I believe either the owner does not have them or he sets them away because he doesn't use them. Anyway, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn this unit around and inspect the connection and the condition of the unit in the back. In the front, as we can see, it is really nice and looks very solid, and there is nothing it is broken in this unit. So yeah. Now here is the unit has been turned around to its back, and as we can see, all of the units are connected to each other with these cables. So yeah. And we can see that there is a lot of dust and dirt that it is accumulated on these cables. So the owner of this unit, he wasn't taking a good care of it as in terms of cleaning. So yeah. Now the first unit from the top, it is the Synthesizer Tuner, and it works on 100 volt and it consumes a 10 watt. So yeah. And here is the connections. Everything look dirty, but it is there and it is not broken. The other unit, or the second unit, and as we saw from the early images, that it is the sound file processor, and looks very good. There is nothing it is broken in it, but we can see that this is there is this connector on here and I believe this is for the tape. It is for the CT-P910. So yeah. As for the amplifier, the speaker jacks, there looks very good. There is nothing it is broken in them. All of the connections are in an excellent condition. Now in here we can find that there is a missing screw, and also there is a missing screw from here, and in here there is also a missing screw. So definitely someone was inside of this unit and he did not install all of the screws into their places. And here is this jack, or this power jack. It is for the radio, and this is there is this connector jack in here, and I believe this is for the CD, and the CD model, it is a PD-P710. So yeah. The unit looks very good, except for some missing screws here and there, and also in the tuner there is a missing screw in it. So yeah, but overall the unit looks in a solid condition. So yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect the I'm going now to power on the unit, and we will see what this unit it is going to produce. So here is my step down transformer, and now I'm going to plug in the unit and we will see what will happen. So here's the unit has been plugged in. In here we have the power button. It is in the main amplifier. Hi, goodbye. So yeah, definitely there is a short in the amplifier circuitry, and it looks like it. So yeah. Now the tuner, it displays these dots, and this is typical. So yeah. It tried to boot and then it shut down automatically. So yeah, this is a typical symptom for a that there is a short in the amplifier. So yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect these units, set them aside, and take a look at the power amplifier, and we will see what we are going to get. So here is the unit has been disconnected from the main, and as we can see from the images, the amount of dust that it is inside of this unit, it is really high. So yeah. So I'm going to remove this cover and take a look inside. So here is the screws has been removed, and as we can see, the screws, they are not even from the same type, and they are not from the same height. So yeah, or the same lengths. As we can see, here is a short one, here is a tall one, and here is a different type of screw. So yeah. Anyway, let me remove this cover and take a look inside. So here's the cover has been removed, and here is the inside of this unit. A 7 amp or a 6 amp transformer, and it is 110 volt or 100 volt. There is this board in here. Let me just turn the unit around, and it is probably the main amplification board, because it is directly hold the volume control part. Here is the cooler, and it is made from two separate parts. So yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to clean up this unit with some compressed air, and we will tear it down and see what's wrong with it. So here's the unit has been cleaned up from the top, and I wasn't able to clean up the bottom PC board because all of this wires. So yeah, so even with compressed air there is a limit what compressed air it is capable of doing. Now once I cleaned it up and started the examination or the careful examination of this unit, I found this really awful thing that has been done to this board. As we can see, this board has been broken off, and someone tried to resolder the traces, and wow, this thing, it is a disaster. Wow. Now in order so I can tear down this entire thing, I have to remove this board and disconnect all of these wires. Good God, this thing, it is a catastrophe. Look at how sloppy it is, the soldering job, and look at the burned wires, the melted wires, and good God. Whoever worked on this, he is the most idiot person that I ever encountered with. So yeah. Look at the amount of dust and dirt that it is accumulated in the bottom board in the down PC board. So yeah, and there is a screw, it is missing. So yeah, in here. So I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove this board from its place and take a look at the amplifier section. So in order I could get access to the amplifier circuitry of this unit and examine it, I had to remove this board from its place and disconnect the two ribbon cables. They connect this board to the main board. And once this board it is out of the way, we can now get access to the main amplifier circuitry. Now the main amplifier circuitry, as we can see, looks like it uses an IC as a main amplifier. So yeah, so let me pause this video and remove this metal bracket and see what kind of SDK this model uses. So here is the bracket, has been removed from its place, and I unscrew the 3 screws that hold and secure this bracket into the heatsink. And once I did this, it turns out that this model of amplifier uses an SDK as a main amplifier. And the SDK, as we can see, it has the model number of 4172II. So yeah. Now in order I could examine and test this SDK, I have to desolder it and remove it from its place and test it on a separate circuit. And the only way so I can desolder it from its place, I have to disassemble the entire unit and remove this board, and also then I can desolder it and remove it successfully. So yeah. Repairing this unit, it is a pain in the ass, to be honest, because it is very compact, and yeah, there isn't any kind of room so I can work on this freely. So yeah. Now I examined the 2 ICs in this board. They are installed in this heatsink, and according to the part number of these 2 ICs, these 2 ICs are amplifiers, and it has the part number of UPC 1188H. Now these 2 IC, each one of them has a capability of producing up to 18 watt of power, and if we remember correctly, when we was examining the back of the amplifier, we saw these two RCA jack, and after I traced the contacts of these two ICs, the output of these two ICs are connected to this relay, and this relay, it is connected, the output of it, it is connected directly to these two RCA jack. I believe these two ICs are for the surround circuitry. They are the surround amplifier circuitry. So yeah. And this is the bridge diode and the power supply for these two ICs. So yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove this board, disconnect it entirely, and then remove all of the boards and remove this bundle of wires that whoever repaired on this did it. And then I will remove this board and take a look at the SDK and examine it. So here's the main board, has been removed from its place in the cabinet, and after I remove it, we can see that there is a lot of dust and dirt that it is accumulated on it. And also, if we examine this area, we can see that there is an insect body. It is under the bridge rectifier diode. I believe it is for a cockroach, but I don't know for sure. So yeah. Now, removing this board from its place, it was a really hard task to achieve, and I had to unscrew and remove the transformer from its place in order so I can get it out. So yeah. Working on this model or in this amplifier, it is really a hard task to achieve, and it is truly a pain in the ass. Now, if we examine the AC input board, and this board, by the way, you can see that it holds the on and off relay. We can see that the main fuse, and it is a 5 amp on 125 volt, it is blown. Now, in order you can get a fuse that looks like this and it is blown like this, you have three possible causes. The first cause, that you plugged in the unit to a higher voltage or a incorrect voltage. The second reason, that you have a problem in the transformer. The third one, that you have a short in the amplifier circuitry. So yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to clean up all of this dirt and dust, remove and desolder the SDK from its place, test it on a test circuit, and then we will see what happened. So I cleaned up the board, and the board now it is very clean, as you can see, and I also desoldered the SDK from its place, and I tested the SDK using a test circuit, and the test shows that this part of the SDK it is shorted internally. So the SDK it is definitely gone. And I also tested all of the component in the SDK section in order so I can see if there is any faulty component in this section. And all of the resistors, the diodes and the capacitors, they tested good. And they will serve for many years ahead. I also tested all of the component in the in this board, and especially the component of the voltage regulator circuit. Now, these two transistors, they are what regulate the power to the entire unit. And after I done all of this test, I found that there is something interesting. Now whoever worked on this and repair it, he canceled the current protection fuses. And if I just zoom in a little bit, I will show you exactly what he did. Here you go. As we can see, this a transistor shaped part, it is actually a current fuse protection or a current protection fuse. Now whoever worked on this, he jumped it with a wire, and he did the same thing with this part. So yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove all of these parts, test them individually, and see if there is any faulty component in this section or in this circuit, replace it, and then resolder all of these components back into their places, and replace these two components with the brand new ones. And also I'm going to resolder the new STK into its place, and we will reassemble the entire thing and see how it is going to work. So here's the main board, has been reinstalled into its place and secured with its holding screws. The only thing it is missing is this screw over here, and I'm sure I will find a replacement in my screw piles. So yeah. The transformer, it is also back and secured into its place, as you can see. The new STK, it is soldered into its place and secured into its heatsink, and the heatsink, it is secured into its place in the cabinet with its holding screws. So yeah. As for testing the burnt and replacing the burnt component, after I done the thorough test of this regulator circuit, it turns out that these two capacitors, filter capacitors, they are gone, because one of them, it is leaky internally, and the other one was off in value. So I replaced the two with a brand new one. So yeah, as you can see. As for the protection element or the current protection fuses, I replaced them with the brand new ones. So yeah. As we can see, the unit, it is now it is about 85% fully assembled. The only thing it is left now is address the issue with the broken PC board, and then we will assemble the entire thing and test it. So I'm going to fix the broken PC board, reinstall it into its place, try the unit, and we will hope for the best. So here's the broken PC board has been fixed, and I glued the broken piece of this board using epoxy. As we can see, it is very solid. So yeah. As for the traces, I patch up the broken traces, and the ones that cannot be patched up, I use jumpers in order so I can reconnect them into their places. And the result, as you can see, it is very good, depending on the condition that this board was in it. So yeah, all what I have to do now is install this into its place in the unit, reassemble the entire thing, test it, and we will see what happens. So here's the amplifier unit has been completely reassembled, and here is the repaired board has been installed into its place without any kind of problems. Now the next step is to connect this unit to the other unit and then power up the entire thing and see if this hi-fi system it is going to live again or not. So here is the other unit has been connected to the amplifier unit, and now I'm going to plug in the entire thing to the step down transformer and see how this entire hi-fi system it is going to work. So here's the power has been plugged in, and now let's push the power button and see if this thing it is going to work. And as we can see, the entire system has been turned on, and the relay or the protection relay has been turned on, so everything it is obviously working like it should be. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to connect a speaker to one of the speaker output of the amplifier, and we will see how this unit it is going to sound like. So I connected the speaker to the left output of the amplifier, and now I'm going to turn on the unit and we will see what will happen. So the unit it is on. Now the input it is set to CD, and as we can see, and there is nothing will happen because it is selected, the CD input it is selected, and there is no CD it is connected, so yeah, completely silent. So let me select the tuner, and here is the tuner. There is a loud humming, so yeah. So let me just, here we go. So obviously the tuner it is working. And by the way, I put my hand or my finger on the antenna, so yeah. So the left channel it is obviously working. Let's switch to the right one and see what we will get. So here's the right channel has been connected, and as we can see the same thing, and when I touch the antenna we can see that everything it is working like it should be, so yeah. So the humming it is obviously coming from the tuner itself, so yeah. And as we can see, the amplifier it is definitely working. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect a music through one of the input of the amplifier, and we will see how this thing it is going to play. So I connected my music source to the AWACS input of this unit, and now as we can see we are getting some motion in the VDF display of the sound processor. And now let me just boost up the volume and see what we are getting. Wow. And it is set to halt, so yeah. So let me just select disco for change. Wow. And the volume it is only set to about quarter the way, so yeah. Wow. The sound quality in this amplifier it is excellent. And this channel it is obviously working in a really good way. So let me just turn the volume down and switch to the other channel and see what we are getting. And here is the other channel has been connected, and let me just boost up the volume. As we can see, also this channel it is working really well, and it sounds really good, so yeah. Wow. And the volume it is not even set to medium, so yeah. This amplifier it has a lot of power in it, and it sounds really good. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. really good. Now, in my opinion, this amplifier, it is really good. I love the build quality of it, but I don't like the housing of this unit. In my opinion, the housing must be a 5 centimeter bigger from both sides, so the component can rest easily inside of the housing. So yeah, but nonetheless, wow, the sound quality is amazing. This is one of the best amps that I ever worked on, as in terms of the sound quality. So yeah, wow, really good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to grip all of these wires or all of these cables with zip tie, then install new screws instead of the missing one, close the back cover, secure it with its screws, and my job is done. So in the end, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time.